He is ours.
Hello everybody and welcome to our first of the semi-final series today for the KOTU 5-year anniversary classic tournament, playing in the south side of Alliance of Defiance, double Soviets. It is one of the game's best 2v2 teams, Gold Path 2, made up of Scotch and Noggano.
And in the north, we've got HelpingHans, a rock that you will break upon. And then we've got DevM, a rock that will break your face in two. They play two very contrasting styles. DevM, it must be noted, is OKW in the built-up, southern, urbanised, well, it's more of a mechanical factory area. Industrialised is the best word, area. So he's OKW, and he's up against Soviets in that area, so it's going to be difficult. Let's get some cinematics on the go. Look at this beautiful game.
We love Alliance of Defiance. There's these little whispers of snowflakes coming in as the MG42s run to clear their sections of the map.
Can I make that my screensaver?
Yeah,
that was nice.
Probably a business there making some screensavers out of this game. This is a very cinematic game, though. I mean, the animations, the graphics. Given the game is 5 years old, it's way ahead of its time in RTS graphics. But we're just seeing our first engagements at the moment. HelpingHans there, putting his MG42 in a position to defend infantry from coming up to the VP. He wants the fuel. Let's have a look at DevM on the right side, taking his first engagements.
Oh, fighting over fuel barrels. That's a risky strategy there. It certainly worked for him, though. Getting blindsided by conscripts. They're going to retreat. Stern Pioneers are very good at being ambush predators. They like to stay behind the fog of war and then unleash themselves and the potent weaponry of the Stern there.
I think it's important to actually show everyone kind of the fog of war as much as we can, because True Sight is something in this RTS where units, finally, Company Heroes 1 didn't have it, but now you can hide behind walls, you can make those surprise advances by using the terrain to cover your unit's advance. It's a great mechanic.
I actually feel sorry for Relic in big regard with this. They actually pioneered this type of fog of war, but Company Heroes 1 couldn't handle it on their PCs in 2006, so they had to can the feature. Years later, we are now able to see it in its true glory by the originators, and what a good feature it is. Maxims from Scotch, the Frenchman, Noggano's trustworthy teammate, doing the water-cooled 19th century technology there.
Well, Hans here is looking to capture as much of the map as possible, and making use of taking this strategic decap here. We call it that because Hans neutralizing these 2 points quickly means that he can stop the allies from getting their fuel by disconnecting it from the base. So good on Hans. He's paying attention to the map, making things difficult for Noggano and Scotch right from the start.
So it's a very infantry-orientated build from Noggano and a support weapon-orientated build from Scotch. Meanwhile, of course, Hans has gone for a traditional Wehrmacht, opening 3 grunts and an MG. DevM has seemingly just gone for Focus Grenadiers right now, probably building into an MG34. And to be honest, trying to get the mechanised up as soon as possible to get the Panzer II Lukes out. DevM's all about the mobile armour.
Yeah, it's mechanised is likely here, I think, because we've seen them play a lot of Stuka on this map. It's common, actually, especially when you see your opponents going for the Maxims, that might be a unit that we see early on. But real aggression from DevM at the start of this game. The 4 Vox and Stern Pioneer build means that they're able to run infantry very far into enemy territory, and they're constantly trying to get around the lines of fire.
Scotch is a fantastic player, Dan, but I've never seen a player as fearsome as DevM when he's on form as when DevM is on form. So, like, people have literally backed away with him over the years. When he first got into the KOTU scene in 2015, people said he's like a cash grabber. And he just cares about tournaments, and he does. He just loves to play tournaments. But the thing that has made people, you know, they've gained respect for him is the fearsome play. Let's talk about Hans, though. Nice retreat with that Grenadier getting away. Grenadier here on 2 men, very little health. Could actually get taken out on retreat there. Ooh, close.
I've got to say, what a great vault from the conscripts. They jumped over the fence to get around the arc of fire of the MG. And now you see the second conscript squad is ooh-ahing in, trying to make sure they don't get turned and suppressed on by the MG. Beautiful play. And you just look now and, you know, Allies maybe off to a little bit of a rocky start trying to fend off the Axis, but they're about to get a lot of map control to their name.
They are. Well, they're now getting it all back, but how close are we to DevM's Panzer II? Let's have a little look.
Indeed, in fact, he's gone for the
that's interesting.
battle
Panzer
grouper.
4 then he'll be going for.
Well, I can understand the decision of battle grouper because he's invested so much in infantry. You know, maybe he's going to want them healed. That's sensible, but you know, we think
Panzer 4 all the way. He's all about trying to get the tank out as soon as possible. Code 2 is such a game of, yeah, infantry combat's great. It's beautiful in the flanking maneuvers and the small arms combat, but it's all about getting that big tank that punches a hole in your opponent's defenses.
Oh, this is a really nice flank from DevM here. And you can see the Volksgrenadiers, they weren't going to go into that building because they knew the flamethrower was next to it, and it's very effective at garrison clearing. So DevM coming around the side here and trying to cut off all these units, picking great lines around the arc of fire is a really, really good push.
He's making use of these walls very well. Scotch has barely been able to contend for the fuel in this game. Meanwhile, though, Hans hasn't had the best game in the north against Noggano. It seems like Noggano's winning the majority of these engagements fighting for this fuel area, and Devon's winning in the south, so it's a yin-yang effect at the moment.
Yeah, I think that this is a fragile game. I think it probably comes down to who's going to lose units first. This Volksgrenadier, I think, is actually in the radius of fire and needs to move.
And kicked a dying Russian as well. That's not very nice. Maybe someone would think there's a war or something going on. More machine guns.
Abhorrent behaviour.
Terrible. That's the Jerry's just don't know how to be civilized in a made of war. When we kick our opponents, it's always with a sense of gentlemanly conduct.
Just roll them.
Sorry, old boy, just give you a gentle kick in the face. There we go. Lovely stuff.
To point out, by the way, guards are just going to be uncovered by DevM here, and this should signal that a doctrine has been picked. Guards can only come from a commander. That is going to be mechanized support tactics for Scotch. Noggano, of course, went with armoured assault at the start of the game. So
the two heavy tanks, let's see if the Stern Pioneer survives before AE makes his point. Yes, they do. The two heavy tanks we're going to be seeing late in the game, of course, are the ISU-152. The SU-85 is a much bigger brother. Oh, mine goes off and kills the squad on retreat there. Stern Pioneer down and out, 300 manpower down the Swanee. What a lovely mine.
That was a brilliant mine, and you wonder how no other model had triggered that before the Stern Pioneers ran there, but that is the luck of the draw, and a great win for Scotch there.
And the other heavy tank, to complete my point, we are going to be seeing is, of course, the Iosif Stalin tank, which is a bit more mobile approach than the ISU-152, but it also packs a huge punch with that 122mm cannon. So there's the Soviets with their cards on the table. Let's see what the Axis go to counter it later.
Bringing out the ISG. It's the start of indirect fire. And we thought it was going to be the Stuka as the indirect fire choice from Mechanized. That's not the case. He's going to be using the ISG to try and bombard the Maxims at range. And again, the Maxims just become the focus here because they are suppressing a lot of the infantry, which DevM has invested so heavily in. So will this be the answer? I'm not convinced.
No, MG34 with incendiary fire there, veterancy 1 ability. And elsewhere in the south, Volksgrenadiers again flanking. This time the combat engineers with the Rock 9 flamethrower are going to probably throw an incendiary grenade over the wall. Ooh, they're going to have a little poke around, and they spy danger. See a Maxim with its trousers down, and get burnt alive as a result.
So a lot of retreats going on the right-hand side there. Looks like DevM will be able to regain control of that territory. On the left-hand side, there's a fierce battle going on between HelpingHans and Noggano right now. Hans invested in the 251 half-track from his tier 2 and has upgraded it with the flamethrowers, doing huge model damage to a conscript squad that has to retreat. The engineers pull off the retreat as well, and Hans is just left to flame to his heart's content, and I don't see any mines. My God.
Flaming to your heart's content. Indeed, as the conscript just about ekes out a survival pass there. Here comes the conscript to fake an AT grenade. No, it's not a fake. They have teched it. Indeed, Noggano making great use of his conscript platforms. He does escape with all squads intact there, so the heavy manpower investment has not been lost. 240 manpower intact. He's now going to be trying to...
look at the damage. Look at the damage from this.
Oh, look at the damage from that. Scotch with the AT gun to the rescue.
Yeah, that's some good team play there, helping your opponent out. Back on DevM's side, things are getting heated up here. An incendiary grenade to try and clear out the Maxims. Guards very low.
Oh, Volksgrenadiers couldn't do the shot over the shoulder as they ran away there. No MLG, no scope for them.
You know, I can probably consider that Hans's dive with the 251 there was a worthwhile investment because they took so much of the map and they're able to get their fuel on their side, which if DevM can do another kind of pushback over Scotch, they will get double fuel. Hans, of course, going to invest straight back into the 251 again. I think we can expect
30 fuel, 90 munitions, and it was, for the damage they did, I know they didn't wipe a squad, but it was worth it because they've got a fuel back. No, they stole it off their enemy rather. DevM was able to take his back. Look at the fog in the mist as the ISG looms and fires to death from above.
Noggano is trying to take advantage of the 251 not being on the field for Hans, but Hans with his MG42 has a very wide arc of fire, which is able to suppress multiple squads, and he's having to do this manually as well, it's worth pointing out.
Really could go down. So close, so many survivals for Hans. They've been so close in this game. The only thing he's lost so far is the 251 half track. Grenadiers behind a position of vantage there. 251 being pushed away by the threat of AT grenades. But surely the AT gun of Scotch not too far behind in tow. Elsewhere in the south, we can see that DevM again is battling back for these positions. We'll work a battle there. I know who wins that one if they linger. The Stern Pioneers.
Yeah, and he's just caught Scotch laying a mine as well. He's already been caught off guard by that once, so we want to see the minesweepers upgraded on the Stern Pioneers. What was the vehicle that DevM got here? He's going to build his Panzerschwerer headquarters, which will unlock his heavy vehicles to be used this game.
There you go, he's going to be looking to try and get that very good OKW Panzer IV, the late war variant with a better up-armoured hull.
Great battlefield out there, seeing the Volks Grenadiers clearing up models all over the central VP. I think the map is starting to take shape now. It looks like Axis will be dominating in the mid and west, and we'll see allies taking their fuel and resources on the right. They're starting to bunker down now. We're in for a good game, eh?
We are. This has all the makings of a classic at the moment. It's been so frenetic in all the right ways so far. There's been a high skill threshold, and any small mistakes have been punished, and they have not been big mistakes at all. Here comes a cohesive tactical battle from DevM, a 3-squad combo, going to burst its way around the bushes and try and take out these Maxims. But Scotch is mustering, and he has gathered tempo, so DevM has to get behind the wall. Oh no, he's found the Maxim out before it could set up. Not bad there. Here comes probably a field artillery barrage from the ZIS. Is it firing up? Couldn't do it in time. Could not do it in time.
Well, smoke actually just came down there from
the ISG, of course. So DevM using his own support weapon to allow his units to push in on Scotch's position.
It's really nice. Of course, smoke breaking the line of sight, meaning the Maxim can't suppress. It's great for DevM to be able to flank through it.
Look at Hans as well, buddying up with his teammates, helping him out there in his time of need. Here comes a little field artillery barrage, overshooting for now. Grenadiers diverge and forsake that point for now. Betsu Combat is a very vital squad for repairs late game, but it could get taken out if they linger too long here against those Sturmgewehrs.
What I really love about this game is just the multi-functionality of units. You know, you've got these AT guns that are also able to fire shots as a barrage. It's beautiful, what you can do with your units.
Conscripts here in a pitched engagement against up-gunned Grenadiers with those LMG-42s, Veteran C2, so better offensive accuracy, and they're just demolishing conscripts, forcing them away left, right and centre. Here comes another field artillery barrage, this time on the MG42, pushing that into a difficult predicament. What's this? Is this the recon overflight of HelpingHans, allowing both players to spot better?
It is, yeah. Recon, of course, they're going to be able to see into the base of their opponents here and get a little bit of an idea of the teching. There they see tier 3, and they're going to know that the T-70 is coming up for allies fairly soon. Scotch's weapon of choice.
Oh, yes. And DevM is sticking at trying to deny the fuel in the south. Feels like HelpingHans has got a great position. The Schwer Panzer headquarters is also watching over the centre in a little way. And here's the little tank Mechkun.
I think it deserves more than that, to be honest. T-70 is a powerhouse for the Soviets. Such a common pick because it's so good at versatilely dealing with infantry.
The backbone of the Soviet army, quite frankly. It's the rest of the army is a setup for the T-70 play, in my opinion, because the T-70 is one of the units that can obviously kill, unlike a lot of the Soviet like conscript builds and such. Good sweeping there, allowing the French Grenadiers to flank and possibly take out the fuel. And here comes the Panzer IV of Helping Hands. This is the command tank with its auras of defensive capability.
Yeah, and of course, with the command tank, we see Helping Hands has picked Blitzkrieg Doctrine. So this is going to give him some units to help his tanks fight a little bit better, and also in the late game, he'll be able to call in Ju-87s as an off-map tank, anti-tank strafes.
Absolutely. And here it comes in a... Oh, interesting camouflage denoting a fearsome outlook. Eye of the Tiger taking out an entire squad there and about to force away another with a horrific Helping Hands vintage overshot there versus Noggano. Probably took out a command panther somewhere on some ice.
So Hands is not content with the retreat of the Soviets. He's going to give chase. No survivors.
Oh, there you go. Combat engineers, I'll tell you what, of Scotch have done a wonderful job of keeping the territories. There's DevM's aforementioned Panzer IV, the OKW variant, very strong vehicle. And the Axis are on the resurgence. If you look on the tactical map at the bottom left of your screen, they are just pushing in all over the map. Allies are quaking in their boots right now. Zis has been found out. T-70's pushed away, trying to get some shots in. But can they?
This is very risky of DevM because we know for a fact there are a lot of mines in this area. One of them is there, and the minesweepers are here, fortunately. So that mine will not go off for the tank.
Oh God, can they button? Can they button? No, they cannot. Button, of course, meaning the LMGs fire at the vision slits of the tank, causing them to button up. It slows the tank down.
Now, actually, Scotch has to be careful here because whilst he's holding the right-hand side, Noggano got pushed right back into his base and has been left with relatively little in this game, and that means Hands could come in from the left flank. So the game is pretty much being held, I think, by Scotch at this moment. He's got a lot of work to do and a lot of defensive positions. Sorry, a lot of defensive traps to lay.
He has. LMG Grenadiers vaulting into the trench. They fear no man. They can try and get a rifle nade off. No, they're not. They're going to run away. Very valid tactic by Hands.
Got the Sturmovik.
Oh, what was that incendiary grenade there? Taking out the god. Here we go. Right, the Sturmovik flying tank with a very accurate fire.
To be honest, I don't think that's going to cause many problems for Hands. I'm not really sure why that was called down because there's nothing pushing that side of the field. Normally it's used, you know, to support a big push, but this is going to be nothing more than a nuisance. Although what's Hands doing here?
Hands is taking his AT gun into the enemy base. He's going for an annihilation win. This is audacious from the Englishman. I can't believe it. It's not worked. What?
It's I mean, it's a Soviet AT gun. Maybe Noggano pleaded with him over open voice chat. Please give me back my AT gun. And he's delivered it.
Could have been a misclick, perhaps. It's a very, very tense game. Helping Hands, or James, as his friends might call him, he is focusing so fiercely on this battle in front of you for his very life. He is a professional computer gamer. He's a caster, sorry, streamer. And for him, $5,000 is fantastic. That'll help him, you know, in so much in his career. So he's got tunnel vision at times, and you will see that. A lot of stress for the players today.
Nice grenade. This is a great grenade from Scotch. Look at the infantry models that died then. 2 squads wiped.
2 squads wiped indeed. That was a nuclear pineapple there. The Panzer IV is vengeful for his fallen comrades.
That was a really, really big hit. I don't think that Scotch is able to handle it on this side. He's up against the Panzer IV and the Command Panzer IV, but here's the T-34 85 variant from Noggano. This came just in the nick of time. So much work has to be done.
Does DevM's taking the point, so he may have just lost 2 squads there, but seemingly he's not in that shabby of a position. It's crazy to me. Just, by the way, killed one of the combat engineers that wasn't going to retake the T-70. No follow-up at this point. He is being pushed away. T-70 in a great position. Faust threatening. 3-man squad remains. There you go. Gets the shot.
Oh, man, really? Noggano actually gets his AT gun back. I think that's a real mistake by Hands. However that happened, giving that AT gun back is, you know, such an error. Now he has to fight against some AT, so he can't be using the 251 as aggressively. That's not upgraded, by the way, so I believe he's been using that to reinforce his troops on the field. and keep a strong front line.
Nice G's, just doing great work of peppering their opponents. There's a Stone Pioneer with their superior repair times. They are a jack of all trades, that unit, so they are given a better repair time because they have to do so much in the battle for OKW. Here it goes, they're clumped up. Ooh, I knew that would be bad, but it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. Got clipped on the trench. The T-3485 missing woefully. Panzer IV for OKW is such a tank. Tank, of course, being an adjective used by computer gamers to describe something tank-like.
Very, oh, I was about to say, lucky retreat for the Maxim, but the ISG honed in a shot. Now it's having to be recrewed by the engineers. Those engineers, of course, are going to be needed on the field to repair the only tanks that are holding the Soviets in this game right now. Holding the right fuel is absolutely essential. But as we get 20 minutes in, have a look at the resources. Do we think we're going to see any of the late game tanks come up?
Yeah, more than likely. This game has legs. If you look at the victory point count, it's very even. Panzer IV's in jeopardy in the top of your picture there. Get Mortar getting forced away. Could have been a lot worse. There's no Su-85s out at the moment. There's a Katusha out for Scotch though. Where's the Katusha heading with its first barrage?
Hard to say. We'll find out where that goes in a second.
There you go. It's firing now. Straight into the centre of the map. Machine guns. Watch on in peril. First grenadier needs to get out of there. Oh, what a barrage. MG's taken out almost. Oh, there you go. Last little rocket. Got a shot in.
It's a lucky retreat. But, of course, under the cover of the Katusha, they are able to take and hold that second VP. And Allies, I think, given how unlucky they've been in engagements in this game, still hold a decent section of the map and resources. So, no signs of losing, at least.
For either team at the moment, it's such a fair game that you just see on your screens 380 versus 310 victory points. So all is to play for in this game one of a best-of-5 semi-final in the largest cash prize tournament in Company of Heroes history. What's this? Is this more?
Oh my god.
It is indeed. It's more Sturmovic's flying tanks from the skies above. First grenadier need to run. You need to hide.
Oh, it got the squad!
Oh, you cannot hide! You cannot hide from the eyes above! The Sturmovic getting a kill!
Oh no! Oh, chasing the retreat
skill there, Dan. I really thought that he piloted that plane with accurate precision.
Use the force, Luke. Yeah, I mean, actually, the Sturmovics, they don't normally close squad kills like that, but of course, you have to be careful of that kind of thing, and the added benefit is that they're so loud. They are, Dan! I can barely hear you out here! This is AE reporting from the Western Front Alliance of Defiance, and Sturmovics are deafening. Flying around the camera, of course, they're very close to our point of sound intake. Amazing RTS, of course. It has its quirks. The more you play it, the more you learn those quirks. You only need like 8 years of your life to learn it full. Very deep game, of course. T-70's on it's on capping mode there. Oh, recon mode for this.
Okay.
And of course, I'm just showing the line of sight at the moment. You can see how
lovely.
far it can see. So the T-70 is a great spotting unit, and of course, we just see a cheeky Raketin from DevM open up. Can he get the first hit? Raketin, what are you doing? Take a shot!
No! And here comes the Raketin. Sorry, here comes the rocket launcher, the Katusha. Where's it firing? Where are these rockets hitting?
Do you know what? I don't know. Oh, they're over here, actually.
Oh, of course. We all know that Scotch hates trees and sheds. He's a big hater. The tree and the shed, they have to go. Every time I play the game. That's a French accent for those of you that are wondering. French-Russian. Similar. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my. 80 guns set up in a great position here from Helping Hands. Hands as well, by the way, just unlocked the Ju-87s, so if he can get snares on those vehicles, he might call that down. We've got a second T-3485 on the field for Noggano. Things are starting to heat up.
The rare T-170. Panzer IV command tank with very inaccurate fire. Very low velocity round. I don't know why it's got quite such a trailblazing effect, but regardless, Vet 3 guards watch on as they keep the centre in Franco-Russo hands. T-3485 is absolutely fearless. Look at his marches into enemy lines. Tanks watch on. They have got the shots, and we've got a damaged engine thanks to the Panzerfaust. This could be one dead Russian tank.
This is really bad because I think Noggano feels like he has to commit here. And I think that was a bad decision. He also isn't penetrating the Command Panzer IV from the frontal armor there. So he needs to get out. The Su-85 with the AT gun support has come in to try and help even the engagement. One shot from this Su-85 could penetrate, but does not get it due to lack of vision.
Nice telemine there. It was unexpected. We couldn't see it on our screens, and he certainly couldn't see it not having the Minesweeper over there. He's got his Pioneer has a flamethrower, by the way. So that's not important. I was talking about the flamethrower on the Soviet combat engineer. T-34-85 reversing away. Let's check out some of the other armies. Dan, what DevM got right now as these Panzer IV backing up. Virginia.
1 second though, because we do have Ju-87s called in from Helping Hands, so all of the vehicles in this area do need to get out of the cone. Sorry, well, the circle radius of fire that those units will strafe. And just remind me, what were you just about to say?
It was a completely invalid and useless point. It is, in fact, way more interesting to talk about the Junkers 87, otherwise known as the Stuka. In this case, in a more late war anti-tank role, aka ground attack fire, rather than the early war Stuka dive bomb you may have seen in films such as Stuka 2, Stuka Boogaloo, and Dunkirk.
Stuka Boogaloo.
Oh yeah, one of my favourite films.
Long hits from the AT guns here. T-70 on Vet 3, very, very valuable unit for the Soviets right now. They need that, I think, for the later games, so they can spot for units like the ISU. And if that unit has good spotting, it's very, very lethal. So they need to keep that unit alive in this game.
There's Hans threatening at all times with a rifle grenade, but in this case he eats a guard's grenade and is forced away from that central victory point. But it does not matter because the guards now live in the central victory point in the form of ashes.
This ISG's been a beast in this game. It's had quite a few wipes. In Panzer IV there, the Panthers on the field. What did we just have on the field for Helping Hands? He's gone for the Brumbar.
The Sturmpanzer via Brumbar. The Professor of Destruction. This thing is an artist. Where people paint with small strokes, it's got a huge brush. And it's like, you know, happy little tree here, gone. Squad over here, gone.
Yeah. He's not the painter, the eraser of the anti-brush. 80 gun. Oh, this is a good position. This is a really good position. Actually, both shots, the Su-85 and the AT gun miss. And again miss. This is one of the problems, actually, when you've got your vehicles on the move.
For hit, and then the Command Panther came in. He's got a damaged gun. Here comes the Command Panther yet again. Su-85 recoils in terror. One more shot required. It's out of here.
Oh, slight overextension there from Scotch. Scotch is really struggling. Noggano's nowhere to be seen as he tries to get the right-hand side, but DevM completely uncontested with his armor loadout on the eastern side of Alliance of Defiance, and don't want to see that T-70 go down.
Not if you're a Scotch fan, as DevM is on the warpath. Panzer IV pushing in. Vet 3 T-70 could get taken out next. He changes his mind. He's going for a different target. There he goes. He sees T-70 again. It was hiding behind trees momentarily. He's coming once more. T-70.
He escaped.
Just about there. Felt like the great escape.
He escaped, and now the T-34-85 is coming over to try and deal with a very, very low...
Take it out! PTRS, eat your heart out! Double guard squads, take out the hero Panzer IV of DevM's army.
This is a cracking game. That looked like a really confident scenario for DevM. But
Noggano's combat engineers in the north there. I believe they just... one of them got wiped, yes. Oh no, they both escaped just barely. Vet 3 is surviving. There's a man in the chimney, Dan. Guards just jumped out of the chimney, possibly delivering presents we do not know at this point. Command Panther, just such an amazing weapon of war. Here comes another T-34-85. There's a weapon of industrial warfare.
Oh, Scotch is... I feel like they're going to be saving for things like the IS-2, ISU, but they're very low on fuel income.
Oh, Katusha on the house there could be obliterating the MG. Indeed it does.
Nice use of the Katusha. Squad wipe with no chance of being recrewed there.
Taking out the Ziskin at maximum range elsewhere on the screen. T-34-85 and Command Panther going at it.
Noggano I'm feeling a little bit confident there. I wouldn't be.
This gun was taken out by Hans in the centre. And it's all about duking it out right now. Command Panther versus T-34. Folks, he's coming for the Faust cheekily. No, they've flanked this Vet 3. Maxim, it has to pick up the gun. Oh, there we go. Command Panther reversing away as the plane comes from the skies above.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that was a good call by Noggano, actually, because they need to suppress infantry in that area whilst they recap the fuel. Left side fuel completely negated. Plane goes down over the centre.
Here comes the Brombear, watching on. It's had a little bit of a nerf recently. Can still do some nice looping shots though, as you see there. Must say the Axis have really pushed down into the south at the moment. If we check out Scotch's army, Dan. Yep, see that he's not got much left. T-3485 just holding the line at the moment. On the alliance of the Defiance, it seems more like Triple Alliance is winning here.
I like that the Allies are still finding a lot of time to be aggressive here. That, of course, is really important. Do we have the Katyusha firing right now? Yes, we do. It's firing on a critical defense position for Helping Hands, forcing him away, leaving the AT gun vulnerable. But, of course, the Panther, continual aggression on the right-hand side, means that all of these tanks are kind of sucked up into these engagements.
Very vital, of course there is a victory point there, and right now there's a triple cap currently, almost. No, that's the fuel point. The victory point is in Allied hands. It's 2 versus 1 at the moment. Very even on victory points though, it must be said. Here comes the Command Panzer IV with 30 infantry kills.
I think Hans plays this unit very well. Plays it in the right way as well. He's just kind of pushing infantry off the flanks. It's a great support unit for the support.
Oh, Sturmgewehrs, eat your heart out, dismantling those Zis guns. Here come the T-3485s, the command tank possibly overextending, going for the Su-85. This is a big moment here. We don't have any planes to spoil the party. It's true armour on armour action.
Yeah, not confident that pushing in with the Panther is a good idea.
Look at Noggano's tanks, they're all stacked up. He can't get out of there. Recanver for eating them alive. Oh, big shot goes in. Will the Command Panther take a shot from behind the bushes? Perhaps. No! Helping Hands with a fantastic manoeuvre. Pack 40 at max range. Great teamwork there by the Englishman.
Was that an overshot from this tank?
No, it was a Pack 40 shot from the north of your screen. Helping Hands save the day. What a fantastic shot there.
God, was not expecting that shot.
That was cracking. Obel Soldaten duking out against Maxims. These guys have a lot of veterans. They seemingly don't care about machine guns.
Obel Soldaten. Very, very hard anti-infantry unit there. So will be a focus point for Scotch to deal with. But really, actually, he's got to deal with these tanks because they're just causing so much havoc, pushing away the Maxims all the time. Is this a good flanking position? Just see that the Panzer IV got buttoned there.
DevM isn't doing bad flanking positions at the moment. He's making so much use of Alliance of Defiance. But here we go. The Command Panther's heavily hit here. T-3485 needs 2 big shots. First one bounces. It's still in jeopardy. Panzer IV is going to get around the rear now. Angles. There you go.
Well, it's not really a fan of the decision making because the last shot could be the end of this T-3485, and it is. Now the Su-85 is left in a position where it could be fausted by the Grenadiers of Helping Hands. Yes, it is. And is there a position now? Oh, it's just going to throw in the towel and GG.